guys, so we are outside Treasure Island. Welcome in, everyone. So tonight we're going to do something. Since WrestleMania is coming this week, we are in the valet area right now of Treasure Island. And this is the taxi pickup. Rideshare is right up over on the other side. So we're going to wait for a few more people to get into the chat here. Welcome in. And we're going to take a walk to Allegiant Stadium, see exactly how long it's going to take, and I'm going to show you guys the best route to take if you're going to Allegiant Stadium this weekend for WrestleMania. Figured that would be a fun thing to do. I had some time tonight. They had Rikishi out front earlier. Let's just go walk up here again, and but it looks like he left. I think it was until 6 o'clock. Vonda, what's going on? Alan, Debbie, what's going on? Madison, what's going on? So they have a wrestling ring set up out here. And I heard someone say it was like $50 to get your picture taken with the championship belt or something. So we're just going to check that out. And then we're going to start walking down towards Allegiant. So if you're here and you're looking for ways to get to Allegiant, this is probably the live stream to be watching tonight. After it's over, it will be a video on demand. So there's the wrestling ring, and they're just letting people take pictures. So, all right, let's get on with our walk. So we're gonna start heading down south on the strip from Treasure Island. So this is probably as far north as most people would even consider. It's probably even further than most people would consider walking, but it's really not that bad of a walk. It's probably only about 4 miles to get to Allegiant from here. I don't know, I didn't even Google it, but I know it's like 1.2 miles from Venetian to Bellagio, and it's like 2 miles from Bellagio to Mandalay, and then I don't know, half a mile to Allegiant from Mandalay. So I'm not sure if we're going to be taking the trams or just straight walking. So I think the doors open at 12:30 for WrestleMania on Saturday and Sunday. So it'll be a little bit warm when you're making that trek down there. Even though the temperatures, I think the high temperature on Saturday is going to be like 75 and Sunday is going to be like 85. But I could be wrong on those temperatures. Don't quote me. I'm not a meteorologist. Debbie, how long you been gone now? 6 months since you moved back to Wisconsin? So we got to cross it over. We're going to cross over here because it takes less time than crossing it over at the Hard Rock site, because the Hard Rock sidewalk is shut down. So you have to cross over to the east side of the strip if you're on the west side of the strip where the Hard Rock is. It's been 7 months. Oh, you got a friend coming to Vegas next month, staying at Paris. Nice. A nice view of the Hard Rock construction going on right there. You left September 20th. I know, it seems like forever ago. But I'm glad you could join us on this stream, Deb. I pretty much have stopped streaming. Oh, we got some brides and her bridesmaids over there. I pretty much stopped streaming on TikTok since the last time I tried to do a quick stream on TikTok, and I got restrictions like literally 6 minutes into it, and I said, that's it, I'm done. So much better streaming on YouTube because I get to show you guys Vegas inside the casinos. There's really not a whole lot of restrictions.
Okay.
So these are my favorite floors, by the way. I agree, Alan. I mean, you know, especially the way I like to do my live streams, right? I like to have you guys have a little bit of control over the live stream. Let's walk on the Qbert floor. Us Gen Xers in the chat, you guys remember Qbert. That's what this floor reminds us of. So, yeah, you know, I let you guys kind of control the walks most of the time, you know, and you know, a lot of times we're like, hey, let's walk through a casino, right? And we can do that now. So that's what makes it more enjoyable for me, is that there's a lot more I can show you. I don't have to try to do the same safe route every time, right? Every time I go live, I don't have to be like, oh, here, let me do the safe, you know, can't show you guys this, nope, let me turn the camera now, right? So, not that I did a whole lot of that on TikTok, but apparently I didn't do it enough. So I was told, you see that girls, girls, girls billboard? I was told that's what went through the screen when I was on TikTok that got me restricted. It drove past us. So anyway, we're at the Venetian now. So if we start timing this in about seven minutes into the video, I would say to Allegiant. So this will all be, once I get this uploaded, after it's over, it'll have all the chapters. So if you're staying somewhere, you can just look and see, oh, there's the Venetian. Let me click the Venetian. Let me click on, you know, Bellagio or whatever. Joanna, what's going on? So hopefully we can get this done in not too long, right? Anyone want to guess how long it's going to take us to get down to Allegiant Stadium? I'm doing good, Joanna. How are you doing? I'm going to say it's probably going to take us an hour to get to Allegiant, give or take. We're not flying, Ellen. Now, I know it took about 10 minutes from Mandalay to get over to Allegiant, and it takes about half an hour to get from Bellagio to Mandalay, or Mandalay to Bellagio, because I have a couple videos that we've done that in, and
allow carded players to stay in the game.
you know, from here to Bellagio is probably another 20-25 minutes. Now, the Eagles, baby. Decon, what's going on? Oh, nice, you're going to be there for EDC week. Ernesto, what's up, buddy? So, this is Casino Royale. This is So Casino Royale, the inside, right? If you go in one side and walk right along the front of it, you can beat the heat in the summertime because they have a pathway that runs parallel to the strip. Same thing here at Harrah's.
You'll earn $20 for every $100 of loss thereafter.
You can basically walk through the front of Harrah's, right down. There's like a road that runs right from these doors over here, all the way out to where Carnival Court is and the piano bar. So if it's hot out, just dip right into Harrah's there, and walk through the casino area. Vanessa, thank you so much, man. Appreciate all the support. So I would suggest, if you're staying at the Venetian or Treasure Island, Harrah's, the LINQ, that you cross right here over to the Caesar side, right? And that's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna walk over there and hopefully beat a little bit of the crowd. Now remember, on Saturday and Sunday, there's gonna be like 60,000 people walking to WrestleMania, going to WrestleMania. So the crowds are gonna be probably a little bit more dense. So add some time to what we actually travel, right? Ryan, what's going on, buddy? Now, coming from like Flamingo, the Cromwell or Vanderpump, but nobody's staying at Vanderpump right now, so that's not really an issue. You're not gonna have, you just cross right over the bridge, pedestrian bridges, and you can take the east or the west side of the strip. I would probably recommend taking the west side of the strip in the afternoon because there's a little bit more shade and you have a little bit more access to trams and inside walkways. Now, if you're at Harrah's, the LINQ, Flamingo, you could also hop on the monorail. That's not free. You can buy a 24-hour pass for like 15 bucks. You get on and off in that 24-hour period. If you go online and buy it online, I think there's a discount. I'm not sure how much that discount is. Scotty, yeah, sometimes I like to start up there and walk down and then walk all the way back. I do go up there. There's not a whole lot to see up there, but you know, we can dip into Sahara or Fontainebleau, Circus sometimes. You know, we catch a Zooks from Resorts World quite often. So patiently waiting for the Aces season to start. Yeah, Debbie, didn't they lose a couple players in the expansion draft or some kind of draft or something like that? Yeah, so if you're back over at the LINQ, Harrah's or Flamingo, there are tram stations that you can jump on, not tram, monorail, and take that down to MGM Grand, and that'll cut down a lot of walking. Now, if you're over here at Caesars, you can walk down and over the pedestrian bridge and catch the monorail there. So the monorail, it also stops at the Horseshoe and Paris before it continues on to MGM Grand. And once you get off the monorail at MGM Grand, it's about an 8 to 10 minute walk to the lobby, and then maybe like a 20-minute walk, 25-minute walk to Mandalay. So there's going to be some walking involved. Mud, what's going on? Now, there probably will be a surcharge for ride shares because it's something that they do when there's big events, you know, or it's going to be a long wait to get there. I'm not sure. Mr. Reverend Rob, how you doing, buddy? So Caesars, I've heard, is going to recreate the Evel Knievel jump for the Omnia Day Club when that opens. I might actually put in for a PTO day. I just need to verify the date. Somebody told me, I think May 16th. I'm not sure. So I gotta, Decon, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So let's look at, there's Flamingo, which is one of my favorite casinos lit up at night. I love the old neon lights. Much better than the LED lights, in my opinion. When is this? I think it's May 16th, Rob, when Omnia Day Club opens up. So, all right, so look, we're about 16 minutes into it. We started at Treasure Island, and we are basically at Hell's Kitchen, the Caesar's Fountains, right? So we're making some pretty good time. So if we left Treasure Island on Saturday or Sunday, we're 15, 16 minutes into our walk down to Allegiant. I know you guys are just gonna miss that. I gotta look more into it. That's gonna be freaking amazing if they do that. Oh, I did not see that there's going to be balcony suites in the middle of the guitar there. Look at that. That's a great view, too. I love that view. This whole area right here is one of my favorite parts of the Strip. Standing at the other end of the fountains, looking over at the Flamingo at night is just like, it's so nice and relaxing for me. You guys remember that video? It was a short I posted. I was standing here just kind of relaxing one night, taking some video of the fountains, and these three friends from like California, I forget exactly where they were from, came up, and they were like yelling and being all like crazy. They were super cool dudes. But they were like 30-year friends, lifelong friends. And it was the first time that they had seen the one friend in like 10 or 12 years or something like that. So they asked me to do a little video, and I put it on as a short. It was pretty cool. This Hell's Kitchen, yes, this is expensive, Rob, and I don't really hear that great of reviews from regular people. You know, if you check some of the other reviews, you know, some people really love it. They, you know, hype it all up. But a few people that have just regular tours that do the reviews just say how it's really not, how it's really not worth it. But I don't know. All I know is I'm not going to go in and pay that much money for food that I may or may not like. So Green Fairy Garden, there's an awesome speakeasy in there. Tiffany, what's going on? Alan, you've eaten at Hell's Kitchen, your pal didn't care for it. Nice. Purple Zebra, the daiquiri bar. So here we are now, we are at 19 minutes and we're at Caesars. So at about 5-10 minutes to get out of Caesars to your walk to Allegiant, if you're walking to Allegiant. Now, what I think we're gonna do, right, is I've already explained to you guys that if you're at Horseshoe or Paris, you can walk through Horseshoe back to the monorail station, take that down to MGM Grand, right? Now, if you wanna try to take some time off your trip, we're gonna walk through the Bellagio. I don't think we're gonna actually jump on the trams. I'll just show you guys where the trams are, point that option out to you guys. Billy, what's going on? Now, I heard if you like beef Wellington, I heard the beef Wellington's really good. And I heard the cheesecake is really good, but I don't know. So we're gonna go in Bellagio here. We're taking the pedestrian bridge from Caesars over into Bellagio, and we're gonna actually walk through Bellagio's shopping row, through the casino, past the conservatory. We're not gonna stop in and see the conservatory. Yeah, it is pretty warm out tonight, Tiff. I may have to pull over in a couple minutes and take off my my jacket. Where's Johnny? Johnny Rockets. There's a Johnny Rockets in the Luxor, and there's a Johnny Rockets in Horseshoe. So we're just going to go down here. This is the shopping area. Now, if you walk out front of Bellagio on a Saturday at 12:30, 1 o'clock, it probably shouldn't be that crowded, but we're taking this way. This is a good way to beat the heat. I think it actually is a more enjoyable way to walk. And if you're not sure, if you're coming out here for another reason, not just WrestleMania, and you're staying around at the Bellagio, at least you'll get to see where the Aria Express tram station is in Bellagio, or the super secret, not so secret back pathway that connects Bellagio to Vdara, Cosmo, short walk outside to Aria. So a lot of people still aren't familiar with that. It's been around since MGM took over Cosmo. It's basically an extension of the Vdara walkway that Bellagio had. They got them in Mandalay and MGM Grand. Oh yeah, there is one, right? In the convention center at Mandalay. The Johnny Rockets. So we're just gonna go through here. D Da Vinci, what's going on? How you doing? Welcome in. Everyone who has joined and said hello in the chat, welcome into the chatters. Hopefully you hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, give us a thumbs up, a like, share this out to your friends if they're coming to Vegas anytime soon. This walk that we're doing tonight is, based because, WrestleMania is the big event this weekend, but this is going to serve as a walking video to get to Allegiant for any of your big concerts, whether it's the Raiders game, a big concert, any kind of big event down there. I don't even think I'm walking that fast, Joanna. I think. So, all right, so add a couple minutes because I'm walking fast. See, I think I'm walking my normal pace. All right, I'll slow down for you guys. I didn't realize I was walking fast. Maybe, let me see, how many steps did I have today? Maybe that's the problem. I don't have enough steps where my legs is tired yet. I only got 13,000 steps on today so far. So we're gonna add to that, right? Because I had to walk all the way back up to win and meet Jay later. That's where she's gonna pick me up from. I'm not walking short people steps. Yeah, I forgot. I'll slow down a little bit for you all. Maybe. I'm on 2x speed, right? I sped up the video. So a lot of times when you see those videos that I do where it looks like it's sped up, that's just me walking faster than I normally do. So, all right, so we are about to hit the Bellagio lobby area, which is always crowded because you have the beautiful Chihuly artwork on the ceiling. Let's go real quick and look for some pushers. We got any pushers? We got to do the pusher pit stop. And slowly walk across the front. All right, no pushers. How about that? All right, no pushers. Sorry, guys. There it is, the piano bar. Me and Rob had a nice little time in the piano bar. So we're just gonna walk by the conservatory because it is super crowded in there right now. And the main purpose of this video, this live stream, is to get down to Allegiant and show you guys that. I know that was pretty lame that there's no pushers tonight. Here, I'll tell you what, I'll do like a real quick, we'll walk down the one aisle and get as much in as we can. How's that? Just because I'm good like that. There's an Instagram model right there. Everybody gotta wait. Excuse me. The audacity of some people. You know what I mean? Yeah, if you guys are out here and I'm live streaming, come over and say hello. I have some, I always carry some stickers around with me. Some NeonCityWalkers stickers. All right, so that's our little quick one. There's Bruno back here. The Bruno Memorial. I got a new theory on this. Apparently, Bruno Mars said at his concert that he paid off all his gambling debts to MGM. I think MGM put up this memorial of, you know, for all the money that he paid it off. That little celebration memorial. Remember when this guy owed us $65 million? Yeah, I think that there was only like a handful of people who have grossed more in their residencies than he had. Rob, I'm not jumping in the fountain, and I'm not getting kicked out of Bellagio for your enjoyment. Murakami, what's going on? Oh, Google Map already has it as Vanderpump. Okay. I have not checked. Now, I do know around the backside, as of yesterday, I think it was, or Tuesday, there still was one sign up that said the Cromwell. I have a small bottle of the Cromwell oil. I'm going to go get another bottle this week because I'm pretty sure Lisa Vanderpump is going to want to have her own scent in her hotel, right? So, man, I have not seen this pathway this crowded in a long time. How about you guys, chat? Chatters, what do you think? This pathway, we take this pathway a lot. Have you seen it this crowded? I know, Joanna, you don't like the Cromwell scent, do you? Yeah, it is very crowded back here right now. Now, the other day when we walked through in our live stream, Century 21 was having some stuff there. Yeah, the convention's just left out, right? See, that's what a lot of people don't understand. That's why I'm glad we got 101 people in here seeing that, you know, the strip doesn't always look crowded because it's crowded in the back hallways where the convention people are, right? I think if I had to do a top 5, that would round out my top 5, the descent of the Cromwell. All right, so we got to go up these escalators right here. Now, if you have mobility issues, straight back this hallway to the left is the elevator that'll take you up to the second floor here. So we're gonna go up here. Now, when we get to the top of this escalator, we're gonna get to the Bellagio Tram station on the Aria Express. We're not gonna go on the on the trams tonight. On the way there, we're gonna do the walk. Lisa, what's going on? How you doing? You'll be out here pretty soon, right, Lisa? A couple more weeks, 2 more weeks or so? All right, so right there, that is the tram. It runs 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. Right now. Now, them hours do change, so don't quote me on that, okay? If you get here and it's like 10 to midnight, don't be mad at me. Be mad at Bellagio. Next week. It's next week already. Awesome. Shoot us a DM on either Facebook or like TikTok or something. I'm sure Jay would love to meet up. All right, so this is the back walkway. We'll be able to make a left up here, and that would take you to the Cromwell. Or if you keep going straight, that's going to take us through Vdara's lobby and then out into the valet area. And we're going to walk over to Aria. And I think some people are going to be really surprised where we come out. Right? So to the left here, at around 33 minutes in, we hit the Cosmo from Treasure Island, Vdara and Aria. So I think we're making some pretty good time. I know Murakami's so good with the links. Listen, if I was making like some bank on doing this stuff, I would definitely want to hire Murakami. Unfortunately, I don't think Murakami wants to work for, you know, tens of dollars. Because that's about what I make, tens and tens of dollars. All right, so we are outside now. This is the short walk that we have. We're gonna walk over to Aria. It's a wonderful view out here too. There's the canoes. There's like 200, 250 of canoes in that sculpture over there. I'm paid in joy also, you know. I have a lot of fun doing this with you guys. You know, me and Jay, we love doing it. And I've told this story before. Like, you know, before we lived here, when we would come out here, we would be very disappointed because it was back before live streamers and people thought to, you know, do any kind of social media updates. Social media didn't even exist, but we would come out here, have dinner somewhere really good, come back 6 months later, and that place wasn't here no more, you know? And, you know, we spent a lot of time in Vegas planning what to do in Vegas because it was a lot harder to get your information back then. So we do that now. We do this now, kind of like, you know, if we can help some people, because we love living here. We love this city. And, you know, we want people to come here, have fun, and be able to navigate the city, find some good happy hours, things like that, you know. That's why we do the type of content we do. You know, we want you guys to be able to look at our stuff and be able to get around town, find some good happy hours, catch a vibe, you know.
Yeah, me too.
I know, you know, with the answer machines and pagers and, you know, rotary phones. How many times did you do a rotary phone and you got to the last digit and you rotated around the wrong number and you're like, oh, you had to hang up, start all over again. There was no backspace, no delete, none of that stuff, you know? Carry around a pocket full of dimes and quarters to get in touch with people, you know, at the pay phones. So this is the limo and valet area, North Valet area at Aria. Downstairs is where you would get ride shares. I'm working on a video for that. We're gonna head in Aria here. We got that cool little LED light sculpture over there. Say hello to our friend Murakami, the big beautiful Buddha. Jesus, you're getting a lot of ads. I don't control the ads. I just have ads on, and YouTube places the ads randomly to people. If ads don't run, I don't make anything. So, you know, at least when I do a live stream, I make a couple of dollars for a live stream. I'm not becoming rich. Trust me, I'm not quitting my day job anytime soon to be a live streamer on YouTube. I wish there was a way that like I had more control over the ads, but I think it's either on or off. Prest, oh, Prest, is that the juice place? Lisa, is that the juice place? Because I think Jay loves that place. That place and the juice standard in Cosmo, two places she loves to grab smoothies from. All right, so we're walking through Aria right now, and we are, what, 38 minutes into this, 40 minutes into our walk to Allegiant. So we probably got about, I'd say, another 25 minutes, half hour before we get to Allegiant. But we're gonna be taking these inside pathways, right? Because it's gonna be sunny out on Saturday and Sunday. And I always say, like, you know, if you can avoid the sun out here, definitely avoid the sun. Why not walk through the air-conditioned casinos and, you know, because if you walk down the east side of the strip, you're gonna have to walk outside on the sidewalk the whole entire time. So I recommend taking the west side because there's a lot more places that you could dip in and out, right? So if you wanted to walk around, if you wanted to walk in front of Bellagio at the fountains, you know, you could still walk through the shops at Crystals. You could go through the shops at Crystals and cut through and come into Aria and take this back pathway. There's a lot more inside ways to go on the west side of the strip. The east side, you're pretty much, once you get past Planet Hollywood, you don't have another spot to go inside really until MGM. All right, so we're gonna come up here if you went to the left here, you would go to the self-parking garage. So don't do that. Make a right at the top of the escalators. There's also an elevator right next to the escalators. So downstairs, if you're looking at the escalator, it's to the right. That'll bring you right up to here. So if you have a scooter or mobility issues, you can take that. I have a short video on that also, how to catch the Aria Express if you have mobility issues at this station. I got to do the other stations. So we're going to go through these doors. And again, to the right here, that is the tram. Go through them doors to the left, and you would hit the elevator to get to the 3rd floor. Yeah, there may be some. That's a good one. You know, pay attention. There may be some of these spots that I point out. Joanna, you're getting off now. Good night. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. The chat isn't scrolling like as good as it normally does. So right now, when we step off this escalator, we will be in Park MGM. We'll be in the back of Park MGM. Now, to the right here, there's some bathrooms and another elevator to get down from the tram. So we're gonna head through here. Now, I love some of the artwork back here. And, you know, I love showing artwork in the Think You Know Vegas, right? So if you guys don't know what Think You Know Vegas is, every morning at 6 a.m., I post a short that is some random spot in Vegas for you guys to guess. And then the next day I post another one and I give you the answer for the day before. So it's a fun little way to start your morning. All right, yeah, let's get some of them thumbs up, man. Start smashing them thumbs up. Start liking, sharing this out. Subscribe. That's the best way to support this channel, is through subscriptions. We do not solicit super chats or gifts or anything like that. We did get one tonight, and we appreciate that from Decon. So we always do appreciate that. Is a great way to support us too, but we don't ask for it, and we don't, you know, we don't really solicit it. So you guys going and watching our videos is a great, I tell people that is one of the best things I love about YouTube, is that people, oh, what's this? We got the Hall of Fame. Oh, that's going to be at Dolby Live. Nice. You know, you guys going and watching the videos just by watching and clicking, you know, that gives us some watch times and helps us out that way. So let's take a walk through. Because I'd rather cross at the crosswalk, the cross light up here at New York, than walking back here. You know, it is a kind of a cool carpet, right? You know what I do love though, Alan? I do love that I don't have to walk through the whole casino like this, right? Like if we were on TikTok, you know, oh, can't show the machines, you know. But I can show girls selling thongs on, you know, TikTok shop. So here's a great thing for you guys that don't know this, right? Park MGM is smoke-free. There's designated smoking and vaping areas in the ride-share zone and the reserve at Park MGM West Entrance, Central Park Terrace. So if you light up in here or you vape in here, security is going to be on you, like instant. I don't know if that happened to anybody. Powers, what's going on? Has that ever happened to anybody? Anybody ever accidentally light up a cigarette or hit their vapor in in Park MGM. All right, so it's pretty damn crowded in here. There's a pit boss staring me down over there. Sometimes they're not super friendly about walking around and streaming. That's why I try to stay off to the side and not walk in the real like gaming areas. And I turn the chat off too, so if they look, it just looks like I'm recording and they don't see like any chat or anything like that. So I'll get back to the chat in a minute. This is all Lady Gaga's like outfits and stuff. It's the House of Gaga in here. This is really cool in there. If you guys have never gotten a chance to kind of check that out, definitely go check that out. Chi-Town girl, what's going on? So I just turned the chat back on because we're going to be hitting Italy in a second. Now that's the thing, right? Some casinos, they don't really mind you walking through. Some casinos are a little bit more tight with that. A lot of times it's just has to do with the pit boss or the security. But if you want to just record your own personal stuff, it's fine to do that in the casinos. You know, they just don't like this, like people live streaming because they're afraid of people cheating and stuff like that, collusion, things like that. And I get that. So if they ask me to stop recording, I generally do. Thank you. And I don't really give them a hard time because the truth of the matter is you're on private property. So, you know, you got to abide by their rules. Reverend Rob is back. Awesome. Chilling out, relaxing, watching me walk all the way down to a region. Now, another way to beat the heat, you just walk in right by Tom's Urban here and you can grab the pathway through New York, but this is a nice crowd out tonight at New York, where people always are talking about how dead it is down here. Well, we got a nice crowd. I know. It's a busy weekend, right? So, you know, that's the Vegas is dead people always move the goalpost, right? No matter when you show them that there's crowds, they always have some kind of reason that Vegas is really dead. And what, you know, even though last month for February, the numbers were up slightly, so that's good. Rob, you know how people love to be negative, right? Oh, so here's another interesting little fact. Where we're walking right now is actually public property, right? So you can live stream, you can record, you can stand there and play your music like those people were back there. This patio area behind the fence and up these steps is actually New York property. So if you're walking up there recording and filming, they can technically tell you you're not allowed. And then you can just walk down here and stand here and you can do it. So
she calls me Swampy, but she'll write.
But this is, I love this area. This is the Brooklyn Bridge replica, right? Lots of areas to sit up there and chill and relax, right? And then right here on this stage, they have live music. They got a band playing right now. We're not going to stick around and listen. Maybe on the way back we will. But yeah, they have up there right now. They got live on the Brooklyn Bridge. But I'll let you guys see that. So it's a pretty chill spot, right? They have all these benches, all these tables. You got 9 fine Irishmen right there. They got grab and go. You can go across the street. There's a CVS, Walgreens, ABC stores right across the street that you can go grab some seltzers or beers or whatever, and come over here and just sit and listen to some music. Yo, were you on that live stream when I was walking by Fashion Show Mall and the security guard came over and was hassling me? I was like, oh, well, somebody called code 4. We got a live streamer. She come running over like, you're not allowed to do that, sir. I'm like, do what? She's like, you're not allowed to record up here. And I'm like, okay. And we just kind of had a little discussion, and I kept walking, and I was like, freaking walk past here all the time in live stream, you know, and there's really no public sidewalk right there. So that's like kind of like a weird spot. I don't know the exact parameters of what is and what isn't Fashion Show Mall's property or the city's property. Oh, you like Blue Moon? You know, even back when I drank, Blue Moon was okay, but I wasn't really a big fan of the Belgian white style beers. I was more in the IPAs. Now I don't drink anymore, but I do drink. Athletic Brewing Company has NA IPAs and stuff, which are actually really good. So yeah. And there's a lot of places out here now that do serve NA beers and stuff like that. Voodoo Ranger, that was a good one. That was a good one. Sierra Nevada was one of the first IPAs I ever had in my entire life. I know, the way New York lights up is absolutely beautiful. Let's turn this around and you guys can see it as we're walking away from it. It was really busy in the back hallways of Bellagio. A convention just let out up there, and I think that this is outside of New York. New York was one of the bigger crowds I've seen in quite a while. Well, sours are pretty good. Sours are pretty good, but you can't really drink a whole lot of sours because they will tear up your stomach. All right, you guys, how do you guys want to get down to Mandalay? You guys want to, I mean, you can walk right down the strip, but there's really nothing to see. So that's a boring way. I think we're just let's just go through the castle and then the pyramid. Just trying to catch up on the chat here. Oh, Ronnie, you were at WWE World over at the convention center. Nice. Flankers is a good restaurant too, by the way. Now, the best beer that I ever drank was, it was a sour actually. Dogfish Head, some kind of sour from Dogfish Head. I mean, it's been over 6 years since I drank a beer, so I can't even remember that. Yeah, we're gonna head through Excalibur. So right there, Americana just put up the Aroma Retail link. Me and Jay are affiliates for them. So if you click that link, use our code there, Neon City, for 20% off. And if you make a qualifying purchase, we get a commission, most likely, at no extra cost to you. So we do have a few affiliate links. I got to get my link tree in order and get a couple things off it and stuff like that. You know, that's pretty much all that me and Jay do. We'll you know, we have a few affiliate links and just make videos for you guys. Yeah, Hard Rock was coming along nice. We walked past that a little bit in the beginning of the live. So we're in Excalibur now. So to go through the pathway at Excalibur, look at all these people. We're gonna have to go over here and up the escalator. That'll take us to the second floor, to the food court area, and a pathway that's gonna take us to Luxor. Now, when you get to Dick's Last Resort, the restaurant right there, you're gonna be looking to the left towards the center bar in the casino area, and that is where you will find the escalators that'll take you up to the second floor. So they have their buffet, daily 7 to 2, a weekend brunch, and a mimosa brunch. We'll have to look for another one. So they do, this is, I think, isn't Excalibur part of the 2 nights for like $330 or something like that deal that MGM's running? I don't know. There's a ton of influencers out there doing those videos, so you can check them out. I know you get like you get all your meals, a couple beer, like drinks, some show tickets, things like that. Excalibur is really not a bad spot to stay either. I like it in here. It's got a pretty decent vibe. It does get pretty busy on the weekends. And every time my mother-in-law comes out here, she'll stay either Excalibur or Flamingo lately. But she used to love staying at Excalibur. It's just a little bit too big of a property for her now. But the rooms have always been clean. Everything's always smells nice. So it's really not that bad, as a lot of people want to just say it's a horrible spot because it's so old, right? But Caesars is pretty old. Bellagio's getting old. You know, basically, there's only, what, 2 baby casinos out here. Well, I guess they're going to be toddlers because the baby casino is going to be the Hard Rock, right? Fontainebleau and Resorts World. So I have a feeling that those guys are here for WrestleMania. So we're just going to continue down here for a little while. Yeah, I wish that there was more themed like places, you know. I wish Treasure Island went back to having like the pirates, and Caesars, I wish Caesars went back to having the Centurions and stuff walking around in there. That was always so much fun, you know. What did I miss? What did Murakami say? Yeah, so this is the pathway. This will take you right over. So I like the pathway back here. The tram is nice. Now the tram, you can get from Excalibur to Mandalay Bay. It takes about 2 minutes once the tram gets there. The tram runs like usually every 6 to 8 minutes. And there's an express tram that'll get you there in like 2 minutes. And then I think the local tram takes like 3 minutes. There's like a 1-minute stop at Luxor. So now there used to be people movers in these hallways, right? Like, you know, you just stood on it and it was like, you know, a flat escalator. They took all of them out except for the ones that go down into the Luxor or come up out of the Luxor. But this hallway here, they used to have them here too. They had one going each way. I'll tell you, like, I don't always see why you would get some big fancy rooms, you know, unless you just have money to burn. But when I would come out here, I would want as much money to do as much stuff as I could. So I'm fine with like a basic room. You know, a lot of these properties have really nice rooms. Decon, yeah, and they've been trying to do some renovations and stuff. I guess these guys are coming back from WWE World. Yeah, so these people movers, I think these might be like the only 2 left in all of Las Vegas. I'm probably wrong on that, but you know what I mean? These are like really the only 2 that I remember. So, what did Tiffany say? Are they finally getting rid of all the resort fees? No, for these specials, I think the resort fees are gone. I think Resorts World has done away with some resort fees on certain rooms. There's all kinds of specials going on out here where resort fees have been dropped or lowered. And, you know, it's like an all-inclusive. A lot of properties now have these all-inclusive deals, 2 or 3 nights, usually midweek. And, you know, she got off rough. That moves a little fast at the end there. Mike, what's going on? So we are now in the Luxor. The haunted hotel is what people say, right? I know sometimes I do get a little bit of an eerie feeling in here. I think it's the lighting up on the mezzanine, up in the atrium. So, who knows? There's a lot of people that say that there's paranormal activity in here. Sounds like there's something going on here for WWE. Let's see, we got the belt bar at the Luxor. The title belt bar. I think I'm gonna have to lower my mic down a little bit while we're in here. I don't want, that's gonna end up being a copyright, I'm sure. Maybe they might not be able to understand the music though. I wonder if there's any WWE people claim the title belt, wear the title belt. How do we do that? Do we gotta fight somebody? I'd be down to go fight somebody in a steel cage match, a Hell in a Cell. Let's get a Hell in a Cell match in the middle of the Luxor. That'd be fun. All right, so we gotta go make it upstairs. Continue our little journey here. Now, I don't know how that's going to be on Saturday and Sunday when WrestleMania is taking place. But here's a good spot to take the kids too. HyperX, this is an esports arena, a gaming arena. I have a lot of good specials in there. So if you're into e-gaming and all that stuff, that's a great spot to go. Public house. Mud, how do you like the public house? I love the public house. All right, so we're gonna go up, go check it out. They got a wrestling ring right here, maybe. Let's check it out. This ring is for display only. Mania. Small batch tequila. Do not climb. Don't go in there. You're going to get escorted off the property. Yeah, my kids have gone to that thing and played in a couple tournaments a couple years ago, man. They said that it is like some serious competition in there. You know, they were there more for fun. What would my WWE name be? I do not know. I never thought about that. Yeah, well, what would your WWE name be, guys? If you have ever thought about that, put your WWE name. Jimmy Smash. There. Look at this. This is a great view coming up here, man, into the atrium. It's the world's largest atrium by volume, too. So, Sweet Jimmy. Yeah, I could be like, what was that dude's name? Val Venus, right? Sweet Jimmy. Hello, ladies. Welcome to NeonCityWalkers After Dark. Jesus would be Max Power. Nice. I like that. Max Power. Triple B. The Neon Rocker. There we go. Yo, I could have like one of those like sidekicks, like what's his face had? Bret Michaels. Dude, I grew up in the Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper era, you know, Randy Macho Man Savage, you know, all them guys back then, you know. There's Johnny Rockets. Didn't somebody ask about Johnny Rockets? Johnny Rockets is back here. I'm going to show that too. That was Rob, I think. Jake the Snake Roberts, Big Boss Man, all them guys way back in the day. I went to a few wrestling events like growing up, but you know, it wasn't as big as it is now. You know, I got a really cool story though about wrestling. So has anyone ever? I don't know if anybody in here is really like a huge hardcore wrestling fan. There was like a local Northeast states like wrestling federation called like Shakara, I think it was called. I don't know if they're still around anymore, but they were really big in Philly for a while. And we used to go whenever they were in town doing shows. Well, they had some kind of fundraiser at this mini golf place. And my middle son got involved in some kind of tournament at the mini golf place and won the tournament. So he got to play one-on-one against the champion of Chikara. And, you know, he beat him, you know, and they gave us tickets to the main event that night. And we went and they brought him up into the middle of the arena, into the ring, announced him as the mini golf champ and all that stuff, man. It was so cool. Like, he had such a blast. You know, like, I'll tell you what, man, wrestlers are really cool people, man. Like, you know, they are out there doing like their thing and putting the work in. Those guys work hard to get to where they need to be. And I think a lot of them, when they're in that amateur stage, are still just so grateful to have people come and see them perform and wrestle. You know, they were always so nice to the kids in the stands and all that stuff, taking pictures, you know. And then when I was growing up, ECW arena, the hardcore arena, was in Philly. I think that was down at like Front and Snyder. And I used to go down there with my friends every once in a while and watch them guys. You know, it's really cool, you know, and when you see a guy like go from, like, I don't know, what would it be, like, you know, the minor leagues and get a shot in, you know, WWE or something like that, you know, and like my kids used to be really into it, so they'd be like, oh my God, I remember watching him on, you know, whatever it was. And it's cool. They put a lot of hard work in, man. A lot of respect to professional wrestlers. The Bushwhackers and Sergeant Slaughter. Ha. The Independents, yes, okay. Yeah, the Independents. You know, them, like, I wish there was a lot more money in the Independents for them guys, you know? But you know what? When you love doing something like they love wrestling, you know, like, I guess, you know, I love live streaming and doing this content. I don't get paid anything, you know, I don't have sponsors. I don't have MGM calling me up asking me to do like any kind of content for them. I do the live streams because I like to interact with you people, you know, and, you know, the chatters, and it's just fun to do this. And, you know, I think I said it before, I make thousands of pennies a month doing this, right? Do the math, thousands of pennies. So there's got to be some more stuff going on around here. Just seen a lot of WrestleMania gear going on up here. Eddie Guerrero, yeah, I remember him. Yeah, the indie promotions. That I think they have something going on in here. Flankermania. We have some people. Nice. All right, so we are in Mandalay Bay right now, and this is Flanker. And when you get down this escalator, you're going to turn towards Flanker, and you're going to walk out. You're going to see a sign here. It says walkway to Allegiant Stadium. Is that Trish Stratus back there? I don't know. We'll try to see. I can't really see. Can you see? I don't know who that is. Yeah, that looks like her. Nice. And I appreciate all of you guys that follow us, and, you know, subscribe to our channels and comment and share our content out, right? I really do appreciate. That was nice. So we saw a famous person, you know. Yeah, you know. All right, so this way to Allegiant Stadium. You know, I feel like last year for WrestleMania, there was a lot more promotions of those smaller independent shows. You know, I probably would have liked to, you know, gone there with my kids or something like that to a show or two. That would have been fun. Man, this chat is moving. You guys are chatting it up, but it's not moving on my end so well. It's because turned it off back when we were at Park MGM. So now we are out on Mandalay Bay Drive or road, I forget, and we're gonna be walking this way to the stadium. So I'm gonna walk you guys all the way to the stadium. So this whole thing, everything here on Saturday and Sunday is going to be shut down. There's not going to be any cars driving on this road. Get really nice views of some of the back of the casinos here too. It's Mandalay Bay Road. SoFi is a beautiful stadium. I took a tour of SoFi Stadium with my sons back in 2022, I think. And I kicked a 25-yard field goal on SoFi's field. That's like the highlight of my, you know, I was like, that was the highlight of my trip. So you know, I would think that, I mean, I understand it was such a huge success last year, WWE out here, and you know, I understand they wanted to make as much money as they could, but you know, I kind of think it's nice when they rotate around where WrestleMania is every year. You know what I mean? It gives fans, not everybody can afford to, you know, take a weekend in Vegas. WWE tickets were probably super expensive out here. And, you know, not everybody can afford to do that, you know, especially bring their kids and stuff. Yeah, I thought it was amazing how SoFi was built. How they explained how it's like earthquake proof and all that stuff. All right, we're crossing. Don't do this out here too often, but I can't wait no more. I'll let that guy go. You know, sometimes I forget, like if you don't hit the button, I don't think it turns the light. But anyway, so we're gonna walk up and over the highway, right? Again, Mandalay Bay Road here is going to be closed to traffic. I think the doors open for WWE at around 12:30 on Saturday and Sunday. And I think the parking lots open at 11:30. All right, let me catch up with the chat. You know, the last time we were in LA, I think that was 2024, August of 2024, September 2024. There was an earthquake out there. I didn't feel it. It was like 4.3 or something like that, I think Jay said. The news said. I didn't feel it, but she felt it. And our dogs, we had two of our dogs with us in the hotel, and they got all weird apparently when it happened. So I've technically have never felt an earthquake. All right, so there's Allegiant all the way over there. This is kind of the longest portion of the walk, I think. For right now, this is the least fun portion of the walk, but I want to show you guys all the way to get there. And so far, it's been an hour and 20 minutes that we've been live. And we started at Treasure Island. And we didn't take any trams. So if you take the trams, you're going to shave probably about 20 minutes or so off of that, right? Like I said, from Excalibur to Mandalay is like a 2-minute, 3-minute tram ride, as opposed to like a 20-minute walk. So you're shaving a lot of time off. Now, when we head back, I think I'm gonna hit the Mandalay tram to head back, and maybe the Bellagio Aria Express. I may do that also. So look at the nice view that we get of the Strip at the top of the bridge here. Yeah, it does look a lot closer on a map. But so here's the funny thing about Vegas, right? Is a lot of things are like kind of optical illusions. They're right next to each other, but the pathways are not direct, they're not straight, right? But even so, it's around a 2-mile walk from Mandalay Bay to Bellagio. And if you walk from one end of Central Park to the other end of Central Park, that's about 2.25 miles, I believe. So if you've ever walked through Central Park, you've walked further than Mandalay to Bellagio. So there's the WrestleMania advertisements. Now that's pretty cool, right? Where that WrestleMania Vegas is, that's a big giant window. That all opens up and gives you a view of the skyline. So it looks like we're only going to be able to really get down to the corner here. So they got some stages, they got security all over the place here. Sailor Siren, no problem. Yeah, join us, subscribe to our channel, man. We go live Tuesdays and Wednesdays are like a definite. It's very rare that I miss a Tuesday or a Wednesday. And then during the week, it's kind of more of a pop-up schedule. Whenever I have the time, I try to get out and live stream. So thank you for subscribing. All right, so yeah, so when we get down to here, this is Allegiant Stadium way, and they have all security down at the end of this walkway. There's a bunch of security, so we're just going to turn around here. Because they're probably not going to let us in because they're building these stages and stuff. So that is the walk from Treasure Island to Allegiant Stadium. Now we get to walk back. That took us 1 hour, 24 minutes to get down here. Now on the way back, we're going to utilize some of the trams on the west side of the Strip. And I'm going to tell you, when WrestleMania lets out Saturday and Sunday, if you have not seen the videos from last year, I unfortunately didn't come up last year for WrestleMania. We had some stuff to do, and the crowds were insane last year. So you're gonna have 60,000 people exiting and walking up this walkway all at the same time. It was a madhouse. That's a perfect way to describe it, Sailor Siren, right? Now, there are other ways to get back. the street right here in front that runs parallel to the highway, that is Sammy Davis. You could walk up there to the In-N-Out and cross over at Tropicana. I don't really recommend going down that way though, because it'll be less protected by, there's going to be a lot more cars, right? So I would take this way back, and when you get up to Mandalay, people are going to start spreading out, you know what I mean? So getting a ride share, I think, is going to be damn near impossible once the event's over. Team Michelle, what's going on? How you doing, Tiffany? You were, yeah, so you were here last year. You guys weren't moving around, right? Do you remember if they had a surcharge last year for the ride shares? I know sometimes at major events, the ride share, Uber, Lyft, they have a surcharge. I remember for the Super Bowl, people were complaining about it. I wasn't sure if they had one for WrestleMania or not.
Johnny Depp reveals the one thing keeping him from Pirates of the Caribbean.
What happened there? Oh, we got a ambulance coming up this way. Nope. Next year it's in Saudi Arabia. I did not know that. Getting a lift. Oh, after the Dodgers games, we took a lift from Dodger Stadium. That took about 2 hours to get out of the Uber Lyft line. It was insane. I was not very, very happy about that. So Mud loves that view of the Luxor there. Now, if you go to Mandalay's parking garage, you get this view, but from a better angle, from up higher, so you don't get some of these buildings blocking. There's Mandalay's parking garage. That structure is humongous, by the way. That one's pretty easy to get lost in too, Mandalay. Gonna take a bus. You know, I'm glad you brought that up, because that totally skipped my mind. You can take the Deuce bus from anywhere on the strip down here to Mandalay, right? I think it's like $6 or $8 for the pass for the day, something like that. You know, and that'll save you a bunch of walking and time. I totally forgot about the bus. You know, the Luxor light, when it first opened, was originally brighter, but the airport FAA made them turn the brightness down. Yeah, you take the Deuce down to the outlets. Let's see. Do we see the bats and stuff in there tonight? No, there's not too many bats and stuff in there tonight. It's not that bad of a ride either, the Deuce. Now on the Deuce, they have security come on the Deuce at, random stops to make sure that nobody's sleeping. And if anybody's sleeping on the Deuce, they kick them off. It's kind of crazy. Like, they stop the bus until, security comes and takes the person off the bus. All right, so we are going to walk back into Mandalay and then catch the tram. Coffee time. Yeah, I should probably grab a coffee. Definitely. Maybe stop in Citizens here and get a coffee in Mandalay. I drink coffee all hours of the day and night, Jesus. I'm a coffee drinker. I'll drink this coffee here, and then when I get home, I'll have a coffee when I get home. I should see if Jay just wants to meet me down this end of the strip. Maybe I'll do that. So we're gonna go in Mandalay here. Walk up the steps. All right, here we go. No, Jay is my wife. So I have a Coffee Ninja barista system, and it doesn't take K-cups. It takes the Nestle pods, which I kind of really like some of those Nestle pods. It's mostly espresso based. Oh, there's Rosie. So here's the happy hour, House of Blues, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Now they have gone cashless, and you can get a like a debit card, trade your cash in, and that has caused quite a discussion on some of our posts about that. A lot of people are extremely pissed off that a place does not accept cash, although it's becoming more and more common. And I'm seeing it a lot more out here. I think Donatique in Venetian is cashless. I know that for sure. There's a few other places, but that one just came to the top of my head there. But yeah, some people are really like flustered over the fact that House of Blues is now cashless. Yeah, I mean, so much stuff has been going cashless anymore. So Tram 1, 10 a.m. Mandalay Bay to Luxor, Excalibur, 10 a.m. to midnight they're running today. That can change on any day, by the way. Tomorrow it could be 9 a.m. A lot of times it's depends on if there's a lot of conventions in town or whatnot. This is a really nice view. This could be a confusing view for some people. That may end up in a think you know Vegas. Allegiant Stadium. Most stadiums now I think are, we got a little too much glare on that, but it's still a cool view. So this is where you get the tram. Here's the tram guide. Tram 1, Tram 2. It really doesn't matter which one you take. They both end up at the same spot. Tram 1 goes Excalibur, Luxor, Mandalay Bay. The Express is just Excalibur and Mandalay. They're stealing ATMs weekly in Chicago. I remember in Philly, right before we were moving, they were like blowing up ATMs and stealing the cash out of them, which was crazy. Let's see, is one coming? We can see down the track there a little bit. See that bright light? That's the tram. I don't know which side it's coming in yet. Yeah, that's becoming a lot more common too. Like Apple Pay and Samsung Pay and Google Pay, they're all like being accepted in a lot more places now. Pittsburgh, I love Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's one of my favorite cities, which is funny because Kensington was the neighborhood next to my neighborhood. I lived in Fishtown. Fishtown became a hipster heaven. Housing prices, when I bought my house, I bought it in the low 80s and I did extremely well when I sold it in 2020. You could buy, like, the houses on my street, the new construction, they were all around like $500,000, $600,000 for a row house. Mike, you live in Pittsburgh. Nice. I used to go out to Pittsburgh a lot for the, I was in the Steelworkers Union, and we would go out there a lot for conventions. And I love Market Square and Carson Street. That was always fun to hang out on Carson Street. All right, so we're gonna get in here and.
So who cares? Let's take this one. Wait, Dylan.
I'm gonna try to go down the one that's not that crowded. We'll jump on this one. Oh, nice. You live on Carson Street. Yeah, we used to go there. We would go out there 2 times a year for like training and meetings and stuff. And we would always make a trip or several to Carson Street. I forget the name of the bar that we used to always go to though. But it's weird about Pittsburgh is downtown. We used to downtown Pittsburgh closes relatively early. I would have to ask my friends what bar we used to always go to. It was fun. I'll flip this around for a couple minutes while we're on there. All right, so we're on the tram going to Excalibur. They just did Market Square for the draft. Oh, nice, nice. There's that oyster place in Market Square that we used to go to. That was really good. And then Pernami's. I pronounce that wrong all the time. I love them sandwiches. So let's see if we get a view of anything here. No view. There we go. So they got the sunshades on these windows, so you really can't see out the windows. So you guys are gonna have to look at me for a couple minutes. So we're gonna have to time this when we post the video to see exactly how long this tram ride took. So there's 2 stops at Excalibur. There's the first stop, that'll take you to the ride share. The second stop takes you to the tram station, and we're gonna get off at the second one. And we are pulling up through Luxor right now. Let's see.
Do you know which tram stops at the Luxor?
No, not this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Another one?
There's 2 trams, and this is like an express one, so it bypasses the Luxor, so you have to go onto the other tram.
Please hold on to a handrail.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like a tram 1 and a tram 2, so I can't remember which one's which. So just make sure it says Luxor on it and then get on that one.
Oh, okay. I was like, we went that way and now we're coming right back.
But you wanna go to the next stop. So there's two stops at Excalibur. If you get off at this one, it's gonna take you down to the rideshare area, and then the next one takes you to the tram station. So when you get off, you just stand and wait for the tram that says.
Stay on this one?
I'm not sure if this one goes back to. Are we at the? We're at the end. Okay, they bypassed that one then. Okay. Yeah, so just get on the one that says local. It'll say Luxor. So up at the front, it'll tell you which one to get on. Mm-hmm. So let's see. Can't even see the baseball stadium today. Let's see. So you're staying at Cosmo next Friday. About how far is it from where we're at right now? It's about a 20-minute walk. Or you can take, it's about a 20-minute walk from Cosmo down to here. That's weird because the other day when we were on here, we did the Express and it stopped at the Excalibur rideshare area. That's strange that it went past it this time. Because that drops you off at the Royal Tower, I think it is. That tower there. Nicholas, what's going on? You're coming out for WrestleMania. Awesome. Oh, Money Man, what's going on?
Oh, same shit.
I didn't even know you were out here.
Yeah, I was going to another show.
Oh, nice, nice.
I went to like 5 shows already.
So this is our friend Jay Money Man.
Hi.
So yeah, we've been mostly doing this on YouTube now.
Oh, that's why
yeah,
I don't see you guys anymore.
I have like a DM list of people. I'll put you on it for the next one. All right.
Okay. I'll be Probably here in a couple months for good.
Okay, you here for the whole weekend?
No, just tonight. The
Just
last night.
tonight? Oh,
Yeah.
shit. So, all right, well, let me know next time you're out here, man.
Yes, sir. Thank
All right, take it easy. That's awesome. Totally ran into him. If you guys followed us on TikTok, that's one of our good friends from over there, Jay Moneyman. When he comes to town, a lot of times, you know, he'll reach out and we'll head out to dinner or something like that. He's super cool dude. Yeah, so thanks for joining in tonight. Thanks for subscribing. Welcome into the chatters. Make sure you smash that like button. I don't even know how many likes we're up to right now. So we're gonna start heading back up the strip. What time is it? 9 o'clock. I have not heard from Jay. I don't know if she's gonna be mad. I'm trying to text her.
Front row.
Yeah, you know, back in the day, man, I remember like in the early 2000s and late 90s, man. Remember you used to get airfare, hotel room, all that stuff for like $300 for like a Sunday to a Monday, or I'm sorry, Thursday to Monday, or whatever it was, you know, Sunday to Thursday. We used to come out here a lot. You know, I don't think they do Greyhound to Vegas anymore, do they? They really should have like an Amtrak station here. That would be cool. But there's like really no train lines that come in. I guess once the Bright Line comes, we'll get that. See, coming from the East Coast though, like it's a 5-hour flight, you know, 5 to 6 hour flight. And then if you had a layover or something, you know, you're looking at like 7, 8 hours. So you had to come out for a few days. It was great seeing you, Money Man. That's like a crazy random running into each other. Can't wait to tell Jay. Yeah, we started transitioning over to YouTube back in like October. Doing a lot more live streams and like longer form content. Just there's so many restrictions, and you know, TikTok just isn't fun anymore. And YouTube allows us to create content in a different way. That's, I think, a little bit more enjoyable for me and Jay to create, and I think we're getting a pretty good response here with people subscribing to our channel and our live streams and stuff. I mean, definitely I'll let them know that you'll be out here in a couple months. I think my son had a couple questions about some cards or something he wanted me to write you about. He kind of been really busy. He just started working, but he's trying to sell something. I think he wanted me to ask you something. Oh, is there a show like right in there's something going on in the bar area at Luxor? I'm Boss Slim. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoy the content. Listen, me and Jay, well, mostly I do the live streams right now. She has been super busy, and but if you guys have any questions during the live streams, like, feel free to ask them. We try to answer all questions that come along. A lot of the chatters in this group are very, very well versed in Vegas, and we share a lot of information and try to answer everything. I don't really have to touch on that this much on YouTube, but like, there's very few rules on this channel, right? We'll talk about anything except politics, religion. Guy had a pretty loud voice. We just don't like to talk politics and religion. That's pretty much the two main rules. No hateful, no like, no anti-LGBTQ stuff, none of that. Any of that stuff's just gonna get you kicked right off the channel. But other than that, man, it's kind of like a free-for-all. We love to talk sports, food, different cities. It's not always all about Vegas, but we love to have like a great, we're trying to build like a community more than just like, you guys watching our channel. We want to build like a community, and you see that when people come into the chat, people get to know each other. Yeah, that's the way it is, man. Because you know what? Too many people can't have a civil conversation about those things, right? And too many people have hard opinions, and it's just better off not to discuss those type of things, right? We're here for good Vegas vibes, good fun times, man. Chi-Town girl, you've been with us for a while, man. We do try to do those Neon City Walker nuggets of information, little odds and ends that people may not know about on the Las Vegas Strip or Las Vegas in general. You know what I mean? What time is it right now? It's around 9 o'clock, 9:07 in Vegas. So let's go check out the new LED screen over there at the Hard Rock. I'll zoom in. I don't feel like crossing the bridge right now. So there's the other Hard Rock guitar. That's the LED at the Hard Rock Cafe. That looks pretty cool. I'm just trying to get back up. I got to meet Jay. My son, he got done work at 8. He's waiting for me up here. I just wanted to come out and do this walk and show you all how hard it was to walk to Allegiant. So, yeah, the Hard Rock Hotel that they're building further up the Strip, that is massive. And when you see it in person, right, like, it is just so much bigger than it can get portrayed on a screen. And I see it every day, and sometimes I think to myself, man, that thing is just so massive. No, the people on the Strip are mostly tourists. Most locals in Las Vegas stay as far away from the Strip as they can, unless they're working, or live streaming. But most locals do not hang on the Strip. You'll hear that a lot. Like, they only, if you go on like the message boards or even read in the comments, sometimes people are like, I don't know why, people love the Strip so much. I hate the Strip. I'm a local. I don't go to the Strip unless my family's in town or friends are visiting. It's weird. The Strip is what pretty much keeps this town floating. And so many locals just really he's running somewhere. So many locals just kind of despise it. They don't like to deal with the traffic, and it's, you know, more, it's more pricey, right? Obviously, it's a tourist destination. It's going to be a lot more expensive than your local neighborhood coffee shop and things like that. So, you know, so, but I love being up on the strip. I mean, I'm up the strip pretty much 7 days a week. I work on the strip. I live stream on the strip. We come back in after I'm done work. I worked today, went home, came back. So, yeah, so Jesus, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like Vegas, a lot of people that are just tourists and never really been off the strip area outside of the tourist areas don't understand that Vegas is just like a regular big city, you know? It has everything. It has neighborhoods, it has its own strip malls and restaurants and coffee shops. And so you don't, being a local, you don't have to come up here. And when you come up here, sometimes it's kind of annoying because of the traffic and things like that. You know, you got to pay for parking if you're here more than 3 hours at most places. So, you know, you have your locals casinos, and, you know, it's all fun. You know, I mean, I love coming up here. It's fun for me. So here's a good happy hour, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday all day, every day 3 to 6. They got a good pizza and beer combo too. $10, a slice of pizza and a draft beer. Yeah, you can start heading there. I should probably be up or back at Treasure Island in what, about 25 minutes, 20 minutes, if that. We don't get caught in the big crowd at Bellagio. We're gonna take the steps. I'm feeling like steps tonight. Just get my workout on. I wonder how many steps I got for the day so far. So I think this has been a really fun, informative walk tonight. So if you guys are just joining, go back and watch the replay, because I started at Treasure Island and walked all the way down to Allegiant Stadium to basically where you would walk to the gates. But at the end of the pathway, there was a bunch of security, so we just kind of turned around and went. So we're gonna skip walking through Crystals because I don't want to deal with the glitching, and hopefully we don't glitch. Now these steps are easy to avoid. I got a video about it going through the shops at Crystals, and there's some other tips and tricks in that video. So go find that video, because if you do accidentally walk down these steps when it's super hot out, you're gonna have to walk up steps at the other end. We go to the Palm, and we rent cabanas there. So Sunday through Thursday, on a first come, first served basis, the Palms has cabanas for locals. It's like $50 deposit, and that goes towards your food and beverage cost. So you get that back. So we'll occasionally rent a cabana at Palms, but I don't think we have hit the happy hour there. Americana just put up our Aroma retail link again. Me and Jay are affiliates there. So if you have a favorite scent in Vegas, right? A lot of people love Shops at Crystals. A lot of people love Aria. Whatever resort you love walking into and smelling, if you go to Aroma Retail, they have all the different resorts that are out here. If you use Neon City, you get a 20% off your order. We are affiliates, so we do get a commission on qualifying purchases at no extra cost to you guys. And we are also starting to take Facebook a little bit more serious and Instagram. You know, so go give us a follow over there. You can message us on either one of those platforms and just say, hey, I was on your YouTube the other night. So this way we know, you know, who you are. But Instagram, what we're doing on Instagram is going to be kind of really, really cool, right? So we have an Amazon storefront, right? We are in the Amazon influencer program. And so we have an Amazon storefront. So we put together a bunch of idea lists of things that we think are important if you're coming to Vegas, right? I have to get that link on YouTube here, but it is on other social medias. And if you go to our Amazon storefront, you purchase something off our list, which is something that you're probably going to be purchasing anyway, we would get a commission there. So, you know, we don't ever ask for people to support us with super chats or stickers or things like that. We appreciate when they do. We have other ways that, you know, if you're buying something on Amazon, you could look at our storefront. If you're, you know, looking at Aroma Retails, we have affiliate links, right? Something that you may want to purchase that we would get a commission from. So that's the way we like to kind of do it. You know, whenever we do videos and things like that, stop and get coffee, stop and get dinner with you guys, do a happy hour. That's all. That all comes out of our pocket. And, you know, that's why we kind of can give a little bit more of an honest take on things, even though we're not foodies by any stretch of the imagination, right? We don't pretend to be foodies. We don't. I'll tell you if a happy hour had a good menu. I'll tell you if the wings tasted good, right? Pizza was good, things like that. But I ain't gonna sit there and, you know, describe the flakiness of my croissant, you know? So, yeah, we're definitely not in that lane when it comes to things. We are more like, let's help you navigate Vegas, walk places, go places, find you good happy hours, make it a fun trip for you. So Birdman, so if you get the oils and you have like the scent machine, right? You can change the settings on the scent machine. So the higher the setting, the less time it will, it'll last you, right? So we keep ours. We have the big whole house scent machine. So I have a video about these steps too. I'll get back to the scent machine in a second. So if you want to check it out, it's a pretty funny thumbnail that I have. I'm kind of dressed up like I'm dressed like a police officer telling you not to take these steps. I thought it was a funny thumbnail. But so the scent machine, we keep ours on around 15, pump it up to like 20% if people are coming over. And that will usually last us about a month. And that's like a larger bottle. It lasts us maybe a little over a month, actually. The smaller bottles, they can last a while because I have the small, I have two small travel ones, one for our office area and one for our car, believe it or not, that, you know, I'll put in the car at the end of the night and have the car smelling good. The smaller ones, filling those things up, they can last a couple months. Yeah, so change the settings, right? I would go like maybe like 15 to 20%. And then I believe that there's a way that if you're not going to be home all day, right? So you can have it not spray during the day, but if you know you get home every day around 4:30, 5 o'clock, you can have it spray at like 4:15 one time at like 30 or 40% to give you like a really good strong scent when you walk in, and then have it drop back to like maybe once an hour at 15% until you go to bed, and that'll help save you on the oils. Now the new one I think has an app. We have to get ourselves one of the newer machines, but our old one is 6 years old and it is still working great. So I can't justify just getting something because it has an app with it. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a good quality product. So we're gonna have to walk up past the Bellagio here. So we're gonna walk past the fountain shows. Probably, right? What time is it? Yeah, we might get a fountain show by the time we get to the other end. Yeah, the scent machines are definitely worth the investment. I'll tell you what, that was one of the very first things that we bought when we moved out here. We didn't have a kitchen table, we didn't have our sofa yet, and we went and got a scent machine. So it was, that was a must-have, and that's why, like, you know, we love like promoting their product because it's a great product. You know what I mean? There are other oils and stuff out there, but they definitely do not last as long as the aroma retail ones do. That is for sure. Yeah, there is a way to tie it into your your air conditioning unit too. I just never really looked that much into it. So our whole house one makes our downstairs and most of our upstairs smell really, really good. And then, you know, I said we had the two smaller ones. So, you know, our office area and our kids will sometimes take them in their rooms. Oh, look, we are getting a fountain show. We'll be able to walk by and check out the fountain show. I'm just gonna keep walking though. Edit share. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Hopefully not. I don't want to get a big old copyright for this. The last time I got one, I had to mute the whole section of the live. So you can hear it clearly. Great. Ah, well, we'll get it figured out. That'll be the challenge anyway. Sometimes it just comes through totally crystal clear, and it's too late to do anything. They turn the light down. So I'll deal with it later. If I have to, I can go into YouTube Studio, I can mute this section, and then just add some music, and just guys won't have to hear my voice. Yeah. So that's the hard part about doing these. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Murakami. If you were on time, you know, you might have heard that, but you know, just breaking your stones. I think it's May 16th is when they're doing the jump. They just had Sinatra the other day when we were walking. That's one of my favorites. So we're gonna walk around the side here.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, so what I was talking about during the fountain show is that, like, you know, when there's copyrighted music and it gets picked up on YouTube, then you can't monetize that live stream replay or anything like that. So you have to go through and you have to edit that part out, and you can either mute it. Sometimes if it's just a small snippet, you can just erase that part of the song. But if it's a whole song like that, you have to mute it, and then you can go back and just put like royalty-free music over it. You know, that's the one kind of downside about YouTube. But I understand. Listen, you know, the musicians and stuff, they don't want people profiting off their hard work, and I understand that. So that's why I try to keep my mic down when possible. Are you talking about it's that black dude that sounds like Frank Sinatra? Sounds exactly like Frank Sinatra. Because yeah, he is outside of Venetian a lot now. So Maya, what's going on? How you been? Yeah, he is awesome. A lot of times if I'm not live, like, I'll just stand there and listen to him for a while and then throw him a couple of hours. It's like having a Frank Sinatra, actual Frank Sinatra concert going on there. Somehow I feel that there's going to be quite a few copyrights on this one, though. I was really loud when we went through the Luxor. But it is what it is, right? We're having a good time, and you know, I'm glad you joined us over here, Demaya. Caesar's lights up at night are really nice too. I mean, all the places out here. Hell's Kitchen looks beautiful at night, I gotta tell you. Just don't know about eating there. Well, I look at it like this too, Chi-Town Girl, right? So if we're having a good vibe, right? And, you know, everybody loves to see the fountains and things like that, right? I'm not gonna not go to the fountains, right? I'll either deal with the copyright or turn the microphone down quite a bit if I have time, right? I just didn't have time right there, and it's like, well then, you know what? I'm not gonna ruin the vibe of the live stream, you know, for, you know, not getting credit for a couple views, you know what I mean? Because that's really what happens, right? So after the live stream ends and it becomes processed, the replays, once that copyright gets triggered, everything after that point. So if it happens halfway through, then it happens, right? Just as long, I just don't want it to happen during the live stream, because then that's kind of that's bad. So, oh, where'd all these people come from? Yeah, so don't miss our next ones. Make sure that you smash that thumbs up now if you're just joining. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications for our next live stream. This way you don't miss out. If you are not following us on our other socials, go ahead and give us a follow over there. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All NeonCityWalkers. AI, right, Mud? It's all AI. I put the extra credits in tonight. So I gotta look and see how many steps do I have today. As soon as we get past these people, it shouldn't matter because they're all AI generated people anyway. We are at 22,000. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like almost 23,000 steps today.
He said that, I was like, I was like,
The cabbie said something as he was pulling out, like, and then sped away. Yeah, let's see if I can get a better shot of that, right? So, where are we at? See, it's not focusing. Like 23,000. That's a good day. We'll probably end up with like 25 by the time I get home, walk the dogs, and all that good stuff. So round trip is going to take us, what, about 2 hours and 40 minutes, you think, to get back? What do you think? About another... We got to cross over. That's what sucks right now, right? Because the Hard Rock sidewalk is shut down. So we have to cross over up there at the Venetian. So that adds a little bit of time to our walk to get back to Treasure Island. So, but we went round trip, right? Treasure Island to Allegiant Stadium and back to Treasure Island. This dude's like a sidewalk. Jesus fucking Christ. That dude like walked like sideways, like on an angle, and then just like stops. Like, come on, man. I'm like trying to walk around him and he's like cutting me off, like, and then just stopped. Fun stuff. So there's the Deuce bus. We were talking about that earlier, right? That would probably be your best bet if you really didn't want to walk to Allegiant and you wanted to save some money. If you took the Deuce bus all the way down to Mandalay and then just walked from Mandalay to Allegiant. So there's the mighty Hard Rock guitar in front of us, the top few floors. We'll get a good view of that in a couple minutes. I don't know if my screen is dirty or what's going on, but every time I've been zooming tonight, it seems like there's a lot of noise on the screen. There's Harrah's. I'm not a huge fan of Harrah's, by the way. I like the outside of the building with the purple lights and everything, and I like how it gives a nice purple light to a lot of the strip up around this area. But Harrah's in general, I just think that the restaurants and places to grab a bite to eat are overpriced for being like a budget hotel, right? You know, it's crazy how I think one time I paid around like $17 for like a coffee and a Danish in the morning there one morning. And yesterday we went to Carlos's bakery right here up here in Venetian, and it was like $12 with the tax and stuff, right, for a coffee and a chocolate croissant. The chocolate croissant was so good, by the way, too. So there it is. They need to start testing the lights again. That was really cool. We caught them a few nights testing the lights up there. It's been years since you stepped in Harrah's. Now, which is crazy because in Atlantic City, Harrah's was our favorite spot in Atlantic City. We used to stay back at Harrah's all the time. Back on the bay. The place we really didn't like in Atlantic City was the Showboat. Because one time we were walking through there, we stayed there, and we were walking through there with the kids, and one of the kids like stepped outside of the carpet area that was okay for kids to walk on. And I'm not saying like they walked halfway down an aisle with slot machines. I'm talking like they were like on the other side of the line, right? So, and the security guard came over and like flipped out. Right above where the glass stops right now, there's supposed to be balcony suites. Nice. So I guess like the guitar strings are going to be like the wall separating the balconies then. Let's see. We'll wait for that car. Yeah, so like that security guard like flipped out about the kids stepping onto the wrong area. And then we got up to our room and like the room smelled like this, like sewage. So the wax ring was bad on the toilet. So I called down and I said, hey, you know, you guys got to do something about this. And they're like, well, we're not going to be able to take care of it until tomorrow. And I was like, then you need to change my room. They gave us a hard time about changing the room. So I just said, you know what? I booked a room over at Harrah's and we left. And we went over to Harrah's. Even though they're owned by the same people, I went over to Harrah's. I told them what was going on. They gave us all kinds of like nice comps and stuff.
Increase the odds. Use your club card while playing any machine. And should you lose, we will help your odds.
Yeah, I haven't been to the Harrah's in North Carolina.
$20 in player payback free play credits. To get you started, look for $20 in player payback.
Yeah, I seen those up there where it starts to curve out. That's what I thought, that maybe they were balconies. I didn't know about the ones between the guitar strings though. That's pretty cool though.
And we'll come right to you. Get more chances to win with player payback free slot play credits. Lose your first 20.
Let's see if we can see them. Probably be able to see them when we get closer to Venetian. Let's see. I'll pull over here, turn around, and we'll see if we can see those curved areas. Yeah, there we go. I can zoom in a little bit. So right in the center of the screen, right above where the glass stops, that's where the balcony rooms, I guess, are going to be. That is pretty cool, man. All right, now let's hurry up and get to Jay before I get in too much trouble. I bet my son's probably going to be mad, but... We are outside Venetian now. The timeshare folks, they're mostly inside now. They like hawk you inside the casinos now, man. It's like you walk down and it's just like insane. As soon as you walk into Venetian, as soon as you walk in like TI, it's like that's where all the that's where all them folks are. I really feel like people gotta be messing with me tonight. Like, That's like the second person that just like, as I'm trying to walk past them, they just started like veering over right into my pathway. And I'm like, I don't know. Here I am walking with a camera, not getting in anybody's way, and maybe they've been drinking a lot tonight. No, I have not been to Pal's Sunday brunch. So I work, my days off are Tuesday and Wednesday. So a lot of things on the weekends that seem like they're really cool to do, I don't really get a chance to do. So it is, Mike. There was absolutely about 14 people out all night. It's a shame what Vegas has become. Feel free to go back and rewind when we're at a much busier part of the strip and started the live stream all night. We have seen pretty consistent crowds tonight. But so there's that dude we were talking about earlier. He's over right there. That's where he sings now. So we're gonna head back over, and when we get over to Treasure Island, I am going to end the live stream. Two hours and, like I said, about 2 hours and 40 minutes. So I think I'm gonna have to stop and grab some food on the way home or something. I'm like starving now. So that was a very fun live stream. So let's recap what we did, right? So we walked from Treasure Island. I started at Treasure Island, and we walked all the way down the west side of the strip, basically, to Allegiant. We walked through Bellagio, through the back pathways, past Cosmo, through Vdara, through Aria, through Park MGM, outside New York, back inside to Excalibur, through Excalibur, down the hallway to Luxor, through the next hallway over to Mandalay Bay, and then over to Allegiant. And then we took the tram back and then walked up the strip. So that was a really good walk. Lucino's is the other way for me. I don't know. I have to see what Jay wants to do and my son. Maybe we'll stop somewhere in Chinatown or maybe 303 in the Cut. I like their cheesesteaks and their tiramisu. So let's flip this around here. All right, so I'm going to end the live stream now. So thank you all for joining me tonight. And I may be out here at some point over the weekend to go check out the crowds down at WrestleMania, maybe Saturday night. So make sure you're subscribed, you have your notifications on for the live streams, and you all have a great night. I'll talk to you guys on the next one.